Hey, Lit. It is Thursday. We are chugging right through the week. And all I want to do is very quickly go over the activity for today, um, just to make sure that you understand what you're being asked to do. As I mentioned yesterday, we're going to kind of build up in difficulty or depth, if you will, with these activities. So yesterday's activity asked you to think about an object, which I mean we're going to be talking about literature starting today specifically. But all I wanted you to do yesterday was to start thinking about how the different theories would view a particular object by looking at the object and thinking about the questions that they would ask about that object in order to analyze it. So today we are going to get a little more in depth and look at an actual poem. Now, you'll notice that there is no title on this poem. That is purposeful because the first thing that I want you to do is to make sure that you basically do a reader response read on this poem and go through. I don't know if you'll be able to mark up the document. I'll make sure you all have a copy of the document. So if you can mark this up, please do. If not, create a separate doc like you did yesterday, whatever is the easiest for this situation. So if you're able to read and annotate the poem here, that's great. If not, jot down some things, basically paraphrasing the poem based on your reader response reading of it. What are you getting from the poem? And based on your reading, I want you to title the poem. So as you can see, there is no title here. It's a poem by Sylvia Plath. Please do not look up the poem until after you finish this activity. Then you are welcome to Google this poem and find out the actual title. But first, I want to see, based on your reading and interpretation, what you believe this poem is about. And the reason I want you to do that is to see that when you apply these theories, especially something like the reader response theory, you are digging in and proving the reading that you are getting from the poem, the artwork, the story, whatever it is. And that's exactly what you're going to be doing here. Based on the words that are given here, you are going to come up with, woo, chubs, what you believe this poem is about and title it as such. Okay. Once you do that, okay, once you read the poem, figure out what you think it means, then you're going to come down to this chart. And this chart walks you through three of the major theories that we have discussed: biographical, feminist or gender, and Marxist or social class. So it asks you several questions to consider for each of the lens. So what I want you to do is to think about the biographical lens, do a quick, yes, I'm going to say it, Wikipedia search on Sylvia Plath, see what you can learn about her and her life really quickly. And with that in mind, go back through and read the poem again. Okay? You're reading it now with that biographical end. What I say, biographical lens now. And I want you to see what the meaning seems to be as you read it, knowing a little bit about Sylvia Plath and her life. Okay, so now that you have done that and you have an idea, okay, what's the meaning derived through that lens? So you're going to write down what you think the poem means based on this biographical reading. Give me a line or two that support that, like some things that jumped out at you because you were reading it through a biographical and what you learned about her. Quote a couple lines there. If you are looking through this lens, what themes, patterns, or images are clearly reviewed? So just briefly, what are some things again that seem to jump out at you because you are filtering it through that biographical lens? Are there questions that emerge because of this lens? Things that seem to be of interest or intrigue? And do you believe in this reading? Why or why not? So do you buy into this? Is the biographical reading of this, is this a believable reading? Why or why not? And you're going to answer those same questions with the biographical lens, the feminist lens, and the Marxist lens. So each time, go to the slides if you need to. Remind yourself of what you need to be thinking about and assuming as you look through that particular lens. Go back, reread the poem with that lens in mind. Now, the hardest part of this is trying to erase what you were thinking from your reader response version, from your biographical version for the feminist, for erasing the feminist for the Marxist, and so on and so forth. So actually, these activities are a little bit harder than choosing a lens and doing a really in-depth critical analysis of a larger piece, because I'm asking you to put on multiple lenses and look at the same piece and start to see those changes and seeing how you can see things with those different perspectives. Okay, so you're going to take off one pair, like literally think about yourself as putting on and taking off glasses, biographical, feminist, Marxist, and answer things appropriately. So this activity is your activity for today, Thursday. So it'll be due by the end of the day today. Tomorrow, then, I'm going to throw another activity at you. Reminder, I do have an office hour today from 1 to 2 if you have any specific questions. Tomorrow, I'm going to throw another activity at you. It's going to be a 2-day activity, okay? So tomorrow, you'll get another activity. On Monday, I'm going to go over this activity and the new one from Friday, and then you'll have the rest of Monday to continue and finish the activity from Friday. Okay, so that might seem a little confusing, but just so you know, we'll be going over this activity and the other activity before we move on. What do you see, chubbies? So that's what you're doing with this. Like I said, if you are able to create this document, please do so. If not, create your own doc and go from there. All right, guys, have a great day.